Hello everybody and welcome to another third-party / bootleg bonanza. In today's video, we're taking a look at the die-cast metal transformations original Venerable. Now Venerable, I believe, objectively speaking, accorded a great deal of respect, especially because of age, wisdom, or character. So basically he is a respected individual due to all the knowledge that he has obtained. This is basically all we're going to get from the box. It's just this. And the box is absolutely massive. I will bring in a figure to show you for comparison. This is the oversized Mamba version of the MPM Bumblebee. It's a big box. There's a lot of plastic clamshell in amongst all that. And our figure kind of stands central with all the weapons either side of him. And here he is out of his plastic prison. They've done a sterling job with that sculpt. He looks sensational. Love that kind of bulk and heft to him. Love the fact that we get interchangeable parts as well. Backpack is quite kibble-tastic, but they've thought of a way around this. Now, of course, this is based on the Studio Series version of Sentinel Prime, only blown up to a ridiculously large scale, and with all of these amazing levels of detailing and paint apps that we would expect from the Black Mamba Mechanical Alliance family. That is a gorgeous sculpt. I mean, just look at that head sculpt. The paint apps alone on there are worth every penny. And I mean, this thing is cheap in comparison. That's sublime, isn't it? And just so we can see the full extent of the detail, I've tried to put him in this kind of more stoic pose. Tilted the camera down slightly just to give him some grandeur, and he does look sensational, doesn't he? Backpack included. But speaking of the backpack, let's take a look at those accessories that come with him. Accessory wise, we start with his cannon, which can just be brought down. Oh, got some handles there so it can be gripped, and we've got LED light, 2x LR44 batteries going there. Fabulous colour match, as you would expect. Like your Studio Series counterpart, you get two of these blades, which double up as part of the fire truck. Not as big as I would have liked, so they went one step better, and they gave us kind of more screen accurate versions of the blades. Got Cybertronian text along here. Of course, we have a peg on here, so that can peg into the hand, either hand as well, because you can do it top or bottom, and then they just peg in to one another using that clasp. We get a glorious shield, some real heft to this. Again, central handle, so we can pegged in to either hand because it can traverse, go sideways. But there's a lot of heft and weight to this, built up of multiple layers. And we have these sections here, which depending on which blade you want to go for, whether you go for the oversized blades or whether you go for the originals, these can be pegged in, he says, like so. Do that for both sides. I think you can install one set at a time, and it shouldn't overly interfere with him grasping it. And last but by no means least, a very simple accessory made out of this really kind of flexible rubber, done on this hinge up here. Is his new kind of cape. Way more screen accurate than his current backpack built up of the fire truck. That is just on a mushroom peg. So if we just maneuver said peg like so, just removing that, we're left with this back piece, and we can just slide this on, come on. There we go. And then just bring these panels down and these panels down, like so. And there we have him with a much more kind of screen accurate back kibble section. He looks amazing, doesn't he? I mean, there's no way you'd mess with old Robo Spock there, is there? He looks freaking outstanding. Now, you know what? I used to think the leader class version of Sentinel was pretty decent. For the time, I guess it was, but man, just look at the difference between these two. That is incredible. And bringing in some of those oversized big guns. That's the Black Mamba, Dark of the Moon version of Prime. You know what? Overall size and bulk, I think that works. I think Sentinel was a bit taller than that, so probably this had better scale with Thunder Leader from Wei Zhang, but that scale still works in my opinion. Probably kind of comes up to his shoulders. And then we've got the oversized version of Ironhide, RIP Ironhide. Oh dear, nasty, nasty Sentinel. But yeah, that's the oversized version of Ironhide, and that scale, in my opinion, works rather well. Articulation on the big guy is good and is as follows: up and down, left and right, pivot side to side there. Shoulders, we have this hose that pops into this shoulder, so it does pop out. I think MGOs didn't even have a bracket on there, but lots of motion there. Got some motion on these shoulder pads. These are die cast. Got a swivel here. I've got a nice bend on that elbow, rotation and pivot on the hands, and fully articulated fingers. We've got rotation on the waist, legs forwards, nice and heavy, but nice tight joints. Out to the side, again, movable hip skirts, come in and out. Nice bends on those knees, rotation on the knees, and coming down to the feet. Pivot on the toes, got a little bit of motion on those heel spurs so you can counterbalance, but no real pivot on the feet. It's more kind of superficial, but it does the job. A nice little interesting feature. You can unscrew from the back of the head. You can actually remove those kind of pristine blue eyes and place the helmet of the head back on. And I'm not going to screw it up because I don't really particularly like how this looks. I think his eyes look a bit dead without. But there's a button on the back of the head. You can then make the eyes glow blue as well. That's an option, but they don't seem to shine through these. I mean, there's minute little holes on them, but that LED doesn't appear to kind of shine through those. But the option is there. If you choose to, you can remove the eyes. I kind of would like the sculpt to have been on the actual head itself. I think that would have probably been better. That's what it looks like with the eyes in. Actually, I don't know, that's not too bad, is it? You can actually see a lot more detail when I'm kind of zoomed into the camera. So there you go. It does work. It's just my eyes. My eyes are shot to bits. Now, for the purpose of Sentinel's transformation, I've reintroduced that big hefty backpack so we can cover the whole thing. These arms are going to want to be turned inwards, but first bring this down. I don't know if this is going to stay attached. I don't think it will. But they come inwards like so. Bring that one down, rotate it inwards, bring this down as well. These are going to open, although these do peg in ridiculously tight. There we go, one. And come on, come away from that chest panel. Come on. Oh, there's two panels that join together. See, the red one tabs in to that black one. Let's just pry those apart. There we go. This one opens up and comes out. This one opens up and comes out, and then these are going to untab from the torso. There's so much die cast in its upper body as well. Look at Sentinel just flexing there. These chest pieces are now going to open independently. Well, come on, out we come. Oh, there we go. The wheels are going to drop down to the hip sides, like so, and to the hip sides like that. This then rocks. Oh, not you. These rock up like so, and up like so. So they're square, and then Sentinel's head is going to come down, so it sits flush like that. I'm going to come around to the backpack panel. The gun does come down, and as MGO mentioned in his video, this kind of detaches and can separate, but it doesn't appear to be really anywhere to plug it in, so it's kind of a little bit pointless. This comes down, and that's going to sit and tab in like this, and this should, he says, that should just tab in there like so. Yep. These sections at the top are going to unfold, and as we unfold them, they can square off. You can see where this is going. These kind of come around, and this is all going to form the front portion of the fire truck. Again, on this side, this is going to come out, and you can see these are going to interweave. This will come up, and again, these will come in, and these are going to all tab in, and I'd probably better do it better if I wasn't juggling Sentinel's weight in my hand, but let's try and get it all on camera so you guys know what you're aiming for. You're aiming for something that kind of looks a bit like that. On the back of Sentinel, if you had this kind of style back piece on him, I had the other style, but either or. You do have these flexible, it's still plastic, but it is a lot of flex on the pieces here that can flip and rotate round, and they hide behind here. You then grab these sections here, and we want that to go, let's have a look, this is going to spin and come up. Which way is it? It's normally this side, hanging underneath. It's going to come up and spin like so, and that'll sit in here, and you see there it slides on that rocking hinge, and it's going to push and tab and locate along this rod here. So again, this piece here is already folded under, so this is going to flip around, and then that's going to slide until this locates like so. So that all kind of lines up, and at this point in our little transformation adventure, we can bring all of these in and tab them together, so making sure that nothing is getting in the way. What is that getting caught on? Oh, it's just getting stuck on its own hinge, isn't it? There we go. And then these should all line up. There you go. There. Ah, shoot. Right, there we go. With that secured, we'll come around. We're going to pop up that waist panel, which wanted to come up earlier on. This piece here is going to come down, and this can start tabbing into the top here. You want to move these mirror sections up out of the way. That gives us more room to work with. This goes here, this goes here. This comes over. And this comes over. And there's a small little latch on either one of these doors, which allow for this to come in, and that should, he says, line up. Come on, there we go, one. Push that in, that's gonna line up, two, and then this can come back down, like so. And I can come back down, so that's all starting to kind of secure, and there's now room for things to start slotting in. Now, rather than turning the waist at this lower waist panel, you want to turn the upper torso, which brings this whole bumper guard piece forwards, and there's your kind of tow hitch and your, looks like the hose on the front there. These will then come up, and they're going to form the bottom end of our truck. You can see there we've got these tabs. This is all, he says, should kind of tab and line up like that side. That's nicely done. And come around, and this just needs to do the same on this side. There we go. Bring the wheels back in at the arms, and now we're going to straighten up on this hinge here. It's a double hinge. Make sure that goes in there nicely, and the arms are just going to slide in. Come on, in we go. That's going to go down like so. That's going to post in like this. Oh, cooking on gas. That's going to slide up out of the way. And if you go to the underside, there's this circle tab, and that should kind of line up with the arms. That's more of a guide than anything else, I think. It's not really going to tab in there very well, but gives you an idea if your arms are in the right sort of position. So that's kind of in there now. So again, on this side, making sure that your hands are out. And this is up, making sure that hinges are all nice and straight and tabbed and located. This is then gonna push and kind of get guided in to that section. That is what we're currently looking for. Now we're going down to the legs. I've got this piece here that comes out and rotates. That's on a spring hinge. This piece here is going to untab like so. This should, he says, come around. All of this stuff we've got going on here, there's so much more kind of involved than what I initially expected. That's not a bad thing though, you know, that's really nice. These can just flip, come out of the way and go back in. This here is on a hinge, so we can lift this panel away from the leg. That's going to come up, and much like you would expect, this all kind of comes unfolded. So that's going to form the rear part of the truck. Again, using that double hinge, straighten that piece off. And then we've got this piece here, that's going to tab in, straighten off that bit there. There we go, that's in, that's in. That end panel is in. There we go. We're going to want to do that with both legs. There's actually a tab for this wheel to tab into. The only way I found of getting in there is actually pushing your finger between the two tyres and then pushing it down, because it doesn't really appear to line up very well at all. This is all kind of coming undone again now, isn't it? But the leg is going to come down, the toe is going to face downwards, and this foot is just going to come down, so the foot section itself sits in this void section at the back of the truck. Do that with both legs. Once you've done that with both of those legs, there are two main tabbing points. These panels at the back here are going to tab together in the center. If you look underneath here, this is actually quite a difficult hinge to peg in, but I still don't think I've got that in 100%, but these do tab in there as well. And then it's just a matter of kind of sliding and making sure that all of this lines up as it should. Oh, there we go, starting to come together. Come on. That is all straight, isn't it? Yep, that's all straight. There we go. There we go, starting to go in. If you notice here, one of my hinges there, this little tiny plastic hinge here, actually snapped off here, stuck inside this bit, so just be very mindful of that, because there's a lot of tension that goes on around these legs. Make sure the wheels are down, like so, down, like so. Just a very small, slight gap there, again, but that's all square, that's all square. Now, remember those blades that you get? These are now gonna kind of just tab on, so this on this screw, don't break, don't break, don't break. It comes around at a right angle like so, and if you look, this just comes under, that sits in there, and there's just gonna push and tab. You want to do that for both sides, and then you can just fully extend the fire hose like that. That is a gorgeous looking fire truck. Let's have a look at the tampo printing. I'm assuming that's meant to be District of Columbia as opposed to District Koch Columbia. Toy hacks, repro labels. If you could give us some decent little pieces that go over there, that'll be ace, thank you. Keep back 100 feet. And at the back, we've got those ladders as well. That's a gorgeous looking piece, and it's massive. Something I really like about these oversized figures, hence I've actually ordered a second one of these, is that they scale remarkably well with the regular MPM vehicle modes. I mean, look at that. That is the MPM Ratchet, albeit it's the kind of new redecal version, but I personally think that works exceptionally well. It might not be exactly right, but both kind of fire and rescue, both aptly kind of looking the part. It's a really gorgeous fire engine, not without its flaws. Transformation's a little bit finicky in places, but that being said, we end up with a massive version of Sentinel Prime. The bot mode is Sublime. I'll be displaying mine in bot mode. I'll be displaying it with those new kind of modified wings. And it is a great value for money piece. Much like the Black Mamba Optimus Prime, I rate this highly up there. It looks and feels sensational now. Just waiting on the likes of Unique Toys and Alien Attack to give us their Dark of the Moon Megatron, and we'll see how they all fare. Need it to be around that kind of 33 to 35 centimeter mark, I think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. How will you be displaying yours? Are you going to get more than one? Do you collect the MPMs for their vehicles as well? Or am I just on my own? Until next time, for myself and the rest of the Collectables household, thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.